Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. And the topic for today is war deck for beginners. So last week or last time, I created a nature deck for beginner, and because I believe war is one of the best deck now for in current meta, especially for this weekend event. Uh, the war deck is it's like a has a good chance versus with nature and even on the other control deck. And without further ado, I would like to help you build a war deck using a welcome and core cards. So as you can all know, once you start playing the game, you have a you have like a war starter as shown in this in a boil blood outlaw, and this is our all welcome cards. And technically, at the very beginning, once you start playing the game, this is the only cards you have, and the more you level up, the more chances for you to open a core pack where you have a chances for a rare card or more. But technically, it's a core rare pack every one level, and every 10th level you will have an epic core pack, and every 25th level you will get a legendary core pack. So let's go back, and if we could like start building you a a a war deck that can be used for ranking and especially for weekend rank at beginner. So first of all, we're gonna go check the our one, and like on my previous nature deck, we start with one casting cost, and we're gonna go for a curver. My recommendation is 8 to 10 cards for the 1cc. The main reason why we have more cards in one casting cost and followed by two casting costs is that every time there will be a mulligan, you have a high chance of getting lower cards rather than getting 5 cards. Because if you get 5 cards in the opening, like if 5 casting costs in your opening, technically you have like first and second turn, you will do nothing, and it's already advantage for the opponent, and you already failed in taking control of the game. So in welcome, my highly recommendation will be the Wild Hog, as a one is one of the best known one casting cost creature for aggro, and the Vanguard Axewoman. So Vanguard Axewoman, I consider this is a tier 1 card. It is currently used by even in Mythic players, especially for aggressive deck like Light, Nature, or War. And for this one casting cost perfection, you can also use the Boil Blood Outlaw as this is like a good solid for aggressive deck, and you can like even use a vicious rest for here like one. So technically we already have like 8 cards here, and if we check the core packs, you can start that one. You can like either substitute one of these cards like from vicious rend. You can like use deadly arsenal. The good thing about this deadly arsenal, you can play this one with different creature, not just like for Viking or not just like for war creature. And of course, the famous one are shield barriers. And so we already have a shield barrier here. You can also try to use trial of spirit if you don't have like a shield. If you don't have like a shield barrier, you can use trial of spirit temporarily, but I highly recommend shield barrier. So technically we already have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Now if in case like in a few, because this is like they nerf boil blood outlaw previously, every time he has +2 attack, 2 strength. Now they nerf it like last week. It recently it now became +1 strength. So we can like either replace that one, especially if you're facing a lot of like magic, like spells one. You can use the Rider Sail Weaver. So now let's go now. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We have 10 CC now. I believe that's good. We go now for the 2 casting costs for the welcome, and let's see. So 2 casting costs welcome. There's only Fantasy and Messenger. So and the rest are like uh, frontline, and as you can see, not enough. We go directly on the core. So temporarily you can use Panacean, but as long as you progress, you can like jump now. So Warmonger is a must. This is like a tier 1 card and use majority, but because this is epic, let's say you don't have this at the very beginning, but I highly recommend you can start with Blade Caster. This is like a good to cast card, even the Tavern Brawler. So Tavern Brawler is famous because of its blitz, similar to uh, Axe Woman. It's just like he has like one extra life. So once you got that one, we can like add one of the famous for the beginner card, and majority, even light, I believe, use this one, and even mythic players for their war is the skeleton heavy because of he has like 4 health. I recommend one endurance shield. Endurance shield is good, especially if you're this is like a first your first play card, even you are a first player or second player using the extra mana. This is like a good opening. Currently this was like so famous before, but since the release of the Divine Order expansion, they nerfed this one. Previously it was like 2 to cast, 2 attack, 2 durability, and this one has blitz. Technically it gives protect randomly to anyone, not just with the highest one. It was like so very famous, but they nerfed it since the Divine Order expansion. So I believe this will be a good build now for the second turn. You can now let's proceed now to welcome pack for the 3 to cast. So I highly recommend Raid Revealer because this one has like a 3 attack and it has a protect. So technically opponent need to waste one spell, one god power, or one creature, just like to remove the protect on this one. Then my additional tip will be use Hunt Warden because of this is like a, if you don't have Revealer yet, you can go for the Hunt Warden. And if we go to the core, I highly recommend to use Blade of Thick, especially for aggressive war. So currently we only have 6. I believe this is okay. Now we proceed with 4. So for the forecasting cost, there's no good forecasting cost for war. We're gonna go for the core pack. So for the core pack, so for the forecasting cost, we're gonna go for Viking Longship and Team Mammoth. Now, if you don't have Team Mammoth, you can like still go for my favorite Wetland Ogre, because they're like almost like the advantage of Team Mammoth. He has current 3 attack, but every time a friendly creature takes damage, it has an ability, it gets +1. Then I highly recommend Viking Longship because it's a blitz and it has like a ability to give flank, which it's sometimes very useful against a opponent with lots of wall. You can like literally bypass the wall if you have flank, and especially attack backline. Or this is like additional tip. Flank can hit once you activate flank, you can attack directly the god even though opponent has a front line, and even you can attack backline. And then for the 5 casting cost for welcome, you can like have 2 of this one or just 1, and then go for the core. I highly recommend the red serum in the 5 casting cost for the war. So as you can see, it's a epic card, but if you don't have, like, you can like literally substitute with Carnage Switch, which is majority used for control. But if not, you can like go for our famous Helios Battlesworn. But technically our goal is to be aggressive at the early round. And then lately you will abuse the God Power Slayer. As we all know, war became popular, especially in like an aggressive deck, because of the God Power Slayer, where it deals 2 casting costs, you deals 2 damage directly to the god. And technically, if you literally, as much as possible at early rounds, attack, control the board, attack, and then if later on he managed to take over, you will just make sure you're gonna use the god power every turn, or like before he concede. And I believe this is like the a good build for a war, especially for beginner. As you can see, everything is core and welcome pack, uh, and welcome pack cards. Now, if we compare this deck of mine with what I use in Mythic, so as you can see, I have like a war here. It's almost like identical. I have like Axe Woman, I have like Shield Bearer, I have some cards with the other expansion that you can replace. And this is like, as you can see, only 1 copies, 2 copies. And then on the Tutukas, as you can see, I still have the Skeleton Heavy, because I only have one Morgar Smith. Even Tavern Brawler, I have 2. And on the Tritukas, I still have Reveler and the Blade Stick. And on the fort, technically I'm still because of the nerfs recently of this another round, I might really go for 1 and get the Viking Longship if I'm gonna use war on my current big rank. So currently, as you can notice, I never started yet my weekly rank, and I would like to share anything uh, so I never started yet. And if you check the current play rank, I believe underwater, I'm not quite sure what. Oh, under Juarez is using a frenzy aggro in Mythic. And as you can see, he has Vanguard, Shield Barrier, Tavern Brawler, Blade Stick, yes, Standard. There's still a lot of like using even Vicious Ren, Auric Rush, and as you can see, he's still using some of the welcome or core card. And this is like I'm gonna share another one information. This cards Unchained.com, where you can see the most used cards in Gods Unchained. And as you can notice, majority of the top 20 are nature or war. And as you can see, that this is like the common that you can see from not so far. Based on this one, the 2 top deck or most used, not literally uh, most powerful, but most used are the nature and war, because of and as you can notice, majority that I mentioned on the deck building are also part of the welcome and core pack. As you can see, core, the set here, core, welcome, core. And as you can see, same similar build that I did on the nature one. We're gonna use, like, see, common here, Hunt Warden, another Ren, even Ren included on the top 25. Introducing Trial Spirit. If you don't have Shield Bearer, you can replace with Trial Spirit, and so forth. So this is like a good source of information what card are used currently majority by the God Unchained player. So I hope that this video helped you to rank up, especially if you are a beginner, to do a fast leveling up, because in leveling up, in getting more core packs, you need to level up, and by gaining levels, you must have like a consistent win streak, especially. And if you want to move further on your weekend rank, because the higher rank you have in the weekend, the higher the rewards that you can get. So currently, as a Mythic player, I still use some of the welcome and core card, and I already mentioned on this video. Thank you so much for watching, and kindly send me a comment or a message if you have like clarification questions, and kindly subscribe, and thank you so much. God bless. Bye bye.